my question is, recently NASA conducted a study and they found on asteroid there was a presence of complex molecular things, and we all know that for life to evolve in evolution, the complex molecule played a very important part. So my question is, given this study, what do you give the probability to the panspermia hypothesis? I think you are familiar with the hypothesis, and what do you think is the most optimal solution for the Fermi paradox?
Okay, you asked me two questions. Let's talk about the pans. What is panspermia? First of all, for the benefit of the audience, panspermia is this theory or hypothesis that the building blocks of life are scattered across the universe. And according to this hypothesis, maybe about 4.5 or 3 or whatever 4 billion years ago, the building blocks of life appeared on Earth through asteroid or comet impacts, which means that these asteroids or comets, where they contain the building blocks of life, and that's how life was seeded on Earth. Now when we talk about the building block of life in the panspermia hypothesis, we're talking about DNA, actually DNA. Because if you look at the rate at which DNA mutates and doubles in size and complexity, uh, you know at what a rough rate it happens. And if you go back in time to the simplest possible DNA, that takes you back about 10 billion years. Yeah, but this planet is about 4.4 billion years old, so it doesn't make sense. How can DNA evolve so fast? So yeah, that is definitely a big mystery, and that's why this hypothesis has been put forth, the panspermia hypothesis, that maybe DNA and the building blocks of life came from outer space. Okay, that is panspermia. Now what you're mentioning, let's talk about that. So an asteroid sample or something was done, some study was done of an asteroid, and they
Yeah.
detected the presence of complex amino acids on the asteroid. Amino acids are the building blocks of proteins, and proteins are the building blocks of life. I mean, much of the human body and all animal bodies are made of proteins, fats, etc. That's what most organisms have. So without protein there's no life, and without amino acids there's no protein. And our genome tells protein, I mean, it tells you how proteins, how to code and all that. So we have discovered complex amino acids, the basic building blocks of proteins and life on an asteroid. What does it mean? So it's not very surprising. We have had many more, uh, you know people have analyzed meteorite samples and all, on which they have discovered amino acids and complex organic molecules. So it's not the first time this has happened, but in this case what you're talking about, I think they've discovered all the major amino acids, which makes it which gives more strength and more credence to this hypothesis of panspermia. So yeah, it doesn't prove that life came from outside Earth. It just tells you that these complex molecules seem to be quite widespread and prevalent in our asteroid belt, and maybe beyond our solar system also it's possible. So it's an interesting development, but it doesn't answer any question definitively. It doesn't. Okay. The question about the
Yeah,
origin
yeah,
of life
that's
on Earth,
what
it
I
doesn't.
thought. Yeah.
Yeah.